Hey guys, welcome back to Sad Speaks. In this video, I will be talking about one of my all-time favorite shows, one that had been my hyperfixation before Shadow and Bone. That show is called Julie and the Phantoms. To say that this show is amazing is putting it mildly. Yes, it's a kid's show, but that doesn't mean it's not capable of beautiful representation as well as lessons that both kids and adults can learn from. There are so many reasons to watch the show, and I'll try to narrow it down to the top 10 reasons. But first, for the viewers who haven't seen the show yet or don't know what it's about, let me give you a quick summary. The show is about Julie, a 16-year-old music student who lost her passion for music after her mom's death a year before. But then she accidentally summons the ghost of the band Sunset Curve, three teenagers named Alex, Reggie, and Luke, who died from food poisoning in 1995. In meeting them, Julie becomes inspired to play once more, and they form a band called Julie and the Phantoms. Now, I'll list 10 reasons why you should watch the show. The number one reason is because of its depiction of grief and loss. A lot of the time, stories feature grief and loss as having a linear progression. You lose someone, you're upset and depressed about it, and with time, you get over it. But that's not the case with the show. Even though Julie was inspired by the guys to play music once more, she never forgets about her mother, and we can still see her missing her mom. There are moments when the memories didn't hurt as much, but then there are moments when it does. And then we also get to see how grief can affect others. We see how Luke's parents deal with the grief of losing their son. For them, they seem to need some closure because Luke left home on bad terms before his untimely death. But that's not the case with Julie. We don't know exactly how her mom died, but there wasn't really any need for closure, which is why she dealt with her grief very differently from how the Pattersons dealt with theirs. But there's no right or wrong way of dealing with grief and loss, and the show demonstrates that really well. The second reason to watch the show, the age-appropriate cast and non-sexualized teenagers. Do you guys know how amazing it was watching a show about teenagers and they don't wear sexy clothes like on Riverdale? And they actually look like teenagers for the most part because a few of the cast actually are. Madison Reyes, who plays Julie, was 15 at the time, and Jada Marie, who plays Flynn, was also at the same age. The rest of the younger cast are in their early to mid-20s, but they all look pretty young and close to the age range they're supposed to play. Plus, the girls' outfits, especially Julie's and Flynn's, are non-sexualized and are also age-appropriate. The third reason to watch a show is because of the funny one-liners. So here's a mini montage of my favorite lines from the show.
Dude, that girl has the voice of an angel, and she can make us visible. Without her, we're just like elevator music.
Dude, you're a ghost. Just poof out.
Don't tell me how to ghost!
Well, you know what else is so 90s? Being rude. All right, get woke. These are sensitive times.
Girls, am I right?
Yeah, no.
Reason number 4. There's a good balance between lighthearted and serious in the show. For a show that deals with concepts like death, grief, and loss, it could have very easily become dark and gritty and heavy, but it really balances the comedic elements well with the emotional things. Like, yes, it's mainly funny with the comedic timing, like with their deaths.
Chill, man. Street dogs haven't killed us yet.
But it's also emotional watching Julie grieve her mother as well as the boys coming to terms with their deaths. Reason number 5. This show has himbos. What are himbos, you may ask? Himbos are typically attractive men who drink their respect women juice, but are not exactly the smartest. Alex, Reggie, and Luke are himbos, and everyone loves himbo characters. They're funny and incredibly lovable, and they mean well, even if they're not the smartest.
So, when she says deep dish, is she talking about like pizza or?
Reason number 6, it kind of connects with the previous reason. There's no toxic masculinity. Not all himbo characters do this, but these ghost boys really said no to toxic masculinity. They're unafraid to be affectionate with each other, and while they do sometimes make fun of Alex for being sensitive,
Because we had a blowout in 2032. My money's on Alex. He's just so sensitive.
it's all in good fun. They're also unafraid to show their emotions to each other. And we need so much more characters like this in media, and the show does a great job of being casual about it too. Which brings me to reason number 7, casual representation. Casual representation is when there are characters that are POC, LGBTQ, neurodivergent, disabled, etc. in a show, movie, or book who are part of these groups, but their story arcs don't center on their identity. We have Julie, who is a Puerto Rican teenager, and Alex as an openly gay character who also admits to having anxiety. The show demonstrates that it's not a super big deal. They exist in the show because people like them exist in real life, and it's not done for any brownie points. It may not seem important, but this is the kind of representation that kids need to see on their screen. Reason number 8, the beautiful and inspiring messages. There's so many positive messages you can pick up from this show. There's the importance of friendship, how powerful the impact of music can be, and how music can connect people. Music connecting people to each other is one of the main themes of this show. Julie and the guys are connected to each other through music, and Luke constantly talks about their music as a means to connect with other people. It's a beautiful message because Julie felt disconnected from others in the years since she lost her mom, yet she connected with Alex, Luke, and Reggie through their music. Now, reason number 9 to watch the show is for the amazing soundtrack. I know I've already said this with lemonade mouth, but oh my goodness, the soundtrack. Again, I would absolutely love to play a clip of a few songs because they're all so good. But YouTube copyright issues. But do me a favor, guys, please listen to the soundtrack if you have a chance. The songs are all so catchy and so good, and one song, Perfect Harmony, was even written by Madison Reyes and Charlie Gillespie. And the final reason to watch the show, found family trope. So while the guys did have their own found family before they met Julie, she eventually became a part of their family. The guys all had strained relationships with their own families.
Well, let's be real for a second. It's not like any of us were that close to our families. My folks always regretted buying me that guitar. Reggie, your parents were literally a fight away from a divorce. Alex, your parents were never cool again after you told them you were gay.
On the other hand, Julie had a loving and supportive family, and having a found family doesn't necessarily mean you have to have a strained one with your biological one. Friends can become family, and that's the case with this band. Those are the 10 reasons to watch Julie and the Phantoms. I highly recommend it, and it's a really easy watch with only 9 episodes, and each episode is only a half hour long. With that being said, Netflix, please renew this amazing show for season 2. It's been 11 months, and I need more of Julie and her emotional support himbo ghosts. And that's a wrap on 10 reasons why you should watch Julie and the Phantoms. Tune in next week for my video on Truly Devious. Thank you so much for watching, and please don't forget to like, comment, or subscribe.